Alright, so in this video we're going to go over creating a really simple light switch. So if I press play, what we're going to be able to do is walk up to a light, press a key on the keyboard to toggle it on and off. So the cool thing about this is that it's kind of proximity based, so if we're too far away we can't, but if we get close we can. So let's try it out. So to get started, we're going to go ahead and create a new blueprint. We're going to create an actor class. I'm going to call this switch demo. Open this up, bring it over, and first thing we're going to do is set up a couple components that we need for this. So first thing we need is a light. I'm just going to add a spotlight. And I'm actually going to drag in the blueprint to the scene, position it on the wall so we can add some more stuff. So just make it vertical, bring it to the wall, bring it up a bit. And let's actually put it over here. Just keep it separated. Cool. So we got the light, and then we need a trigger volume. So I'm going to add this, go grab a box collision, and we can look at our scene to see how big it is. Looks like we're tilted a little bit. There we go. And I'm just going to scale this up just to be more appropriately sized for what we're trying to do. There we go. Cool. So now we can hop in the event graph. So this one, we're going to do something a little different, but we're going to kind of use the same concept of triggering an event when we overlap our box. So I'm going to select my box collision. We're going to right click in the scene and do on component begin overlap. So we're going to trigger an event when we cross into it. And what we want to do first is we want to basically enable an input. So to do that, we're going to do something called cast to BP first person character. We're going to plug other actor into the object. So what this cast node does is it lets us pretend we're this blueprint, because what cast does is it lets you access information from a different blueprint. So we're in our switch demo right now, and we want to enable something within the first person character blueprint. So we're going to cast to it and then perform an action. In this case, we're going to drag off and we're going to enable an input. And then we need the get player character. We're going to plug that into the player controller. Get player controller. There we go. So I dragged off the player controller, search get player controller. So when we overlap the box, we're going to go talk to the first person character blueprint and tell it to enable input. And then likewise, we need to on component end overlap, on component. Oh, we got to select our box first so it knows to link it to the box. Now we can do on component end, end overlap. And we're going to do the same thing. So I'm just going to copy this, copy paste, plug it in here, other actor into object. Then we're gonna disable input. Then plug this into the player controller as well. Okay, so now when we overlap our box, we're going to talk to the first person controller, tell it to enable input. Then when we leave the box, we're going to talk to the first person controller, we're going to disable input. So now what we need to do is set up what is that input. So we can right click and we can go type keyboard F, and so all the different keys on the keyboard are on here, and I'm going to make it F just because that's an easy one to hit. And we're going to say when we press it, we're going to do a flip-flop, which will just switch, toggle between A and B, so that, this is the input. So A, I want to, let's select our spotlight here, and I want to set intensity of our spotlight. So we have set intensity, and then it says spotlight, which references our spotlight up here. So we're going to set the intensity, and we're going to set it between 1 or 0, so off, and then we'll just grab another one of these, and then we're going to set the on intensity to 5,000. So now, with this setup, we say when we overlap the box, enable our input. When we leave the box, disable our input, and then the input is press F to flip between on and off, or on and off. So let's compile, let's save, and let's press play and see if it works. So if I'm far away and I press F, nothing should happen. But if I get close enough where I'm inside of the trigger box, I should be able to press F to swap between on and off. So this is a simple way to add a little bit of interaction to your scene. So we used it to turn on and off a light, but you could do it to trigger any number of events. So that's a simple light switch.